Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And the next film I'll be reviewing is a thriller film. A film from 1989. And as a film I decided to review is a film called Dead Calm. Stars Sam Neill, Nicole Kidman, and Billy Zane. Like I said, it was released in 1989, directed by Phillip Noyce, and even really enough, George Miller was a producer on this film. Like I said, I mentioned said this before, but that the George Miller, director of Mad Max films, Happy Feet 1 and 2, and like I did a DVD update, he directed The Never-Ending Story 2. So really enough, he's a producer of on the film. So, and other quick what other films that Phillip Noyce has directed. He directed this 1989. Then he go to direct films called like Blind Fury, or was it originally? I think this was if I'm mistaken, it's like 1988 because it says in the back here it's 1980 or 1989. Confusing, you know. But he directed a film called Blind Fury. Then he directed the sequels of the sequels to The Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, and The Clear and Present Danger, both starring Harrison Ford, Silver, The Saint with Val Kilmer, The Bone Collector with Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie. In 2010, he directed a film called Salt, another film with Angelina Jolie. Then in 2014, he directed The Giver, the film that was based on the book, stars Jeff Bridges and Meryl Streep. But this one, well, for the year, I'll just go with 1989 because that's mainly what it says. But I do like the film. It's which I do get the hint, you know, what it says in the back here from this person from WNCN Radio, New York. Spine tingling, a top-notch thriller in the Hitchcock tradition. I could see that it kind of resembles more like a Hitchcock film, you know, the way his work does, but and it's also based on a 1963 a book of the same name by Charles Williams. So it's based on a book, which I have not read. And the score by I do mind the score by Graham Revell, which I've done which I did reviews on films that has that guy's score in it, you know. And, you know, especially, you know, like, before the score where like someone's like breathing really hard, like that. Kind of like a creepy essence of the score, you know, someone just like kind of sort of a heavy breathing. But, and basically the story, the gist of the story is that, you have this married couple of played by Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman, John and Ray Ingram. That's Nicole Kidman's character. It's about that Sam Neill. He's a guy from the Royal Australian Navy, because this is supposed to be like an Australian film. And he comes home. He returns home, But Nicole Kidman, they had a son, younger son, and she gets in a car accident and her son gets killed. And to deal with the grief, they go on a vacation in their boat, and they just go off in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, basically, just to get away from all the stuff that she's going through. So. And that's the thing. The whole thing is set. The whole film is set on water. There's just the two of them, well, until they meet Billy Zane, you know. So it's basically the three of them, basically. Well, the two of them, they're stuck in the middle, and they're stuck in the middle of nowhere. They're the only two people on this boat until Billy Zane characters come in, you know. And, you know, there's nowhere to go, nowhere to run. It's just this boat in the middle of the ocean. And you have this this psychopath, which is played by Billy Zane. So, but which I'll get to, because I already know that the film if anyone wants to see the film, you know that Billy Zane, he's crazy, you know, and sometimes he's good at playing a you know, a scumbag in film sometimes, you know, but. So it's just them. They also have a dog with them as well. Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman. They have a dog that's with them as well. And then one thing leads to another. They see a boat, another boat, and they see a person in a rowboat going towards their boat. That's Billy Zane, as the guy named Huey. And they pick him up, and he tells that the boat that he was on, because there was like about 6 more people that was on his boat, including him, and they said he looks, you know, all exhausted and stuff because they think he tells that the people who died on the boat from food poisoning, and he has like all their passports and stuff for you know, identities, whatever. And so, and then another thing leads to another is that Sam Neill, he becomes a little bit suspicious, you know, that he not be telling the truth, or he thinks something else is going on the boat. So he decides to go on that ship himself. So he takes the rowboat and then goes on that ship to investigate what's going on. And he goes on the boat, and you see this, like, mostly it's because it starts taking a while, it starts slowly sinking, and as he gets on the boat, he finds other stuff, and like he finds the dead bodies of the people that was on there, and you see on another thing on the television, or the television screen, and he sees some writing on the TV on the screen as well, and then he starts putting 2 and 2 together that something happened on the boat, that he thinks that he's the one who murdered the people, and that he's the one who's crazy, and so he starts rowing back, but Billy Zane realizes that he's coming back, so he makes Nicole Kidman go right past him, and leaving Sam Neill stranded all alone on the boat. And like when he tries to throw the key, Nicole Kidman tries to throw the keys for the boat. He tries to throw it over the board, but the dog, you know, goes and jumps in the water, and, you know, gets the keys and brings them back. And basically most of the film is that with Sam Neill, he's on the boat, he's trying to figure a way how to get out and find her, like tries the radio, but then tries to get the coordinates of where she's at, and also that Nicole, and also back with Nicole Kidman, she has to deal with Billy Zane, and then another thing leads to another, is that as the boat starts slowly sinking, and Nicole Kidman thinks that she'll never see her husband again, and like she doesn't know that she'll never see her husband again. And I'm pausing because there was something that I think that happens, like, in between those well, like on the back of the boat with Sam Neill, like they have like I forget that they had like something to do with radar. I think it has like equipment that has radar, but I don't think it doesn't work. and it starts to slowly sink in, and back when Nicole Kidman and Billy Zane, she tries to make him trust her, and you get the scene where the two that they're gonna have sex, and like the dog's like sort of like watching Billy Zane's like, hey, he's telling the dog to go away, and she just won't do it, but she like in order to trust him though, so she is forced to do it, and later she like gives him something in his drink, and then it makes him go to sleep for a bit, and then she ties him up, and back with Sam Neill, that starts sinking and sinking, and until he's fully underwater, he tries to breathe through this pipe, just to get air. But he basically breaks to the bottom of the boat, and then he makes a makeshift raft, and he pours gasoline all over the place and sets the whole thing on fire, while hopefully the flames will be enough for her to see where she's at. And it's nighttime, so it'll be easier to see, and she sees something, a light far off in the distance. So she tries to make it that way, and Billy Zane, he sees it's tied up, so he tries to cuts through the ropes, breaks down the doors, and you have that song of Grammarville, like you hear that, and then Billy Zane goes and grabs like a large tank, and he starts ramming the door. He's like, I thought that was kind of funny how he just starts charging and screaming, with this tank that he has in his hand. I always thought that was kind of funny how the way he was screaming, it's like, So he's using that to break down that door, and then when he gets out, she has a harpoon gun, tells him to stay there. Like she said, that she's not playing, and she shoots one into him, like right here in the shoulder, and he's like slowly just like pulls, makes it go through him to get off of it, and then she knocks him out, then puts him on this life raft, and just goes and leaves him adrift, And then sometime later she sees Sam Neill on the raft, and she's coming really fast, and she has like this one chance to get him, because you see that he's really and you see that he's sleeping on it, and he's really tired, and he tries because he's tired, he's trying to reach out for her, but she manages to grab him and pull him back on the boat, and she says to him, I found you. And then it's the next day where they come across the raft where Billy Zane was, but he's not there. And Nicole Kidman goes and takes some flares, emergency flares, and shoots the raft and sinks it. But then it cuts to the back of the boat and see bloody handprints. So he probably snuck on a board, and they didn't notice. So Nicole Kidman, she goes out for a swim, and she's back on the boat, with Sam Neill, washing her hair, and they're talking about what they want for breakfast and stuff, And so as he goes and gets to the breakfast, and Billy Zane, starts rubbing her and washing her hair, and she thinks that it's her husband still doing it, and then he starts to try, and he starts trying to strangle her with the towel, and Sam Neill sees, and he had the breakfast tray, and he drops it, and then he goes and takes another emergency flare. He shoots right through the sail, and I thought it was another good moment where he shoots a flare and shoots it right into his mouth, and you see you go through the hole where it went through the sail, and you see the flare right in his mouth, and I was like. And then since it's a flare and it's hot, the back of his head goes and explodes like. The back of his head just goes explodes, and you see his eyes catch on fire as well for a split second as the back of his head blows up. So yeah, it shoots him right through the mouth. Back of his head blows up, and you see for a split second his eyes were on fire as well. And then as he falls back in the water dead, and as they drift away, you see his dead body just floating on fire still, like, well, the, you know, in the water still, but bubbling. And then it just shows this, it ends with them, two of them just staring off. But yeah, this one's it's another shorter review than the usual ones, because, I mean, there's nothing much to talk about, because it's them in the middle of the, it's very simple plot. It's them in the middle of the ocean because they wanted to leave because they wanted to deal with their dead son. So they're in the middle of the ocean just to get away. They meet a guy they find out is a psychopath. And then they just want to get rid of him. That's basically it. So, and mostly what that the couple's been split because Sam Neill is stuck on that one boat, and Nicole Kidman is on their own boat trying to deal with Billy Zane. So, and I like that it's just throughout the whole movie. Well, except for the beginning though, the whole movie's just them three. You know, just the three of them. Very, probably thought that must have been, like, real easy to work with, you know, just three cast members throughout the whole entire movie, you know. And I can see it's like sort of like more like a Hitchcock, in the Hitchcock tradition. I can see that though, but more like an 80s modern Hitchcock movie. And like I said, just like they're in the middle of the ocean and they can't run anywhere, just like here, you know, it's like, in the middle of nowhere, there's nowhere to hide. It says, like, in the tagline right there. So, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't read the book though, but I just prefer to watch this. And plus, you know, I like Sam Neill's one of my favorite actors, and so I thought he did a really good job, and so did Nicole Kidman, and especially also Billy Zane as well, being a crazy guy. And I just like, you know, just like how it's like it focuses. The main thing is they're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, just with just three people, and especially the couple has to deal with this you know, this one crazy guy. So, but let's see what, you know, the inside, like that one scene right there with Billy Zane popping his hat out. Just not much features. It's just a trailer and that's it. But yeah, I do like this. I do like Deadcom. You know, especially especially I like Sam Neill and especially Nicole Kidman and Billy Zane. All three of these guys, they do a good job in the film. Especially when you have a film that's mainly just three actors just to work with. You know, except for the beginning though, but. Like, for, like, the first, maybe 5 minutes, though, but throughout the whole entire film, it's just them three. So, like I said, it must have been really easy to work with just three actors. Well, it's one of those few films that you can work with just a minimum cast, you know, like, a very few cast members. But I do like this, you know, and I do like the film, and just the three actors, I thought they all play their parts well. The directing by Phillip Noyce, you know, how just it's all in the middle of the ocean, but I have to rewatch the sequel. For other films that he has seen that he has directed, I mean, I have to rewatch the sequels like Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger, or so forth. But it's a good film from the director, and oh well, I have seen The Bone Collector, and I don't mind that movie as well because I like Denzel Washington and Angelina Jolie. So, but Deadcom is, I would say, if you want to like, I would say I would just tell people just to give it a look just to see if they like the film or not. And like I said, I just surprised that when I just realized before doing this review, I just noticed that that one of the producers is George Miller, really enough. But I hope you hear that there's a lot of big bang, like someone set off a firework out there, a loud one. If anyone ever didn't just hear that, it was like bang. But yeah, that's my review for Deadcom. if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. See if with your thoughts, give your own thoughts on it. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. And like I said, it's not that short. It's that short because the plot is fairly simple, and it's not much to go on. When it's out in the middle of the ocean, you got 3 actors. You know, when it's simple. You know, but like I said, you can check it out. See, give your own thoughts on it if you haven't seen it. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. And see you soon.